Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So, just a couple quick pleasantries. AZ Coins is in the house. Thanks for being a channel member. I appreciate you. Ladybug Stacker started it off right with throwing out a gift membership. Paula Bloom picked that up. So, congratulations to Paula. Thanks, Ladybug. I appreciate you doing that. We got AZ Coins. We got Ladybug Stacker. We got Keen Friday. We got Dislogic. We got Steve Lapointe. Steve, Dislogic, thanks for being channel members. I appreciate you guys. We got, of course, Farm Dog, who is a moderator. Thanks for being a moderator. And me is in the house. Me drive safe, be well. Mr. Joe McBride is in the house. So thank you for being here. John Shank is here. John Shank, thanks for being a channel member. I appreciate you a ton. Good morning, Paula. You're more than welcome to come up. I'm going to, I have a presentation that I'm going to start with, and then we'll do some chit chat. But let me clicky the linky. So there's that, Paul. You can come up whenever. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Nope, no heart. It's gone. Able to remove that yesterday from your stream. If you don't remember how to do that, I'll give you a step by step on how to do that. What's going on, Dave Carlisle? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just jump on into this because this is a topic that I think is extremely prudent this time of year. It's something that we all kind of need to discuss. And if you're going to be stacking or buying numismatic coins or things like that in the future, especially as we come to 2021 or 2024, remember we're only a couple weeks away, right? I mean, Christmas is just around the corner. Then we got New Year's. What's up, mother? How you doing, Chappie? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and just click this up. Now, I know all of you, not all of you, some of you are blessed by the graciousness of retirement, but most of us work. And in work, we have strategy, we have business, we have budget. What's going on, coach? Thanks for being in here. Appreciate you. Um, in business, you need to plan, whether it's planning your day, whether it's planning your business strategy, your monthly strategy, your annual strategy. You come up with mission and vision statements and you put all these things together to hopefully push a business in a direction where it's profitable. But we don't necessarily take this structure with our own lives. What's up, Great Scott? Thanks for being in here. Appreciate you being a mod. Thanks a ton, brother. But we don't necessarily focus on this. This is not something that we need to do. And what I want to do is today just have kind of a general chit chat. Now, I'm going to be kind of looking at uh, what the thoughts are inside chat. If we have anybody who's honest to God, no self proclaimed, but honest to God finance person, let me know. I'll bring you up and we can talk as well. But there's a couple things that I kind of want to go over. Number one, without a plan, what are you doing? Well, you're burning your money. You're throwing it away. And what I want to do on my channel is I want to help people not only understand the value of the numismatics in which they look at, I want them to understand varieties and errors, and I want them to understand the minting process. I want them to understand how something got on the coin. When they have something on the coin, you can look at it, you can say, where in the minting process did this occur? Right? Where in this process could this issue have happened? And if you don't understand this, if you're looking to buy stuff, but you don't understand the minting process and you're buying stuff thinking that you know what you're buying, you're throwing your money away. Same thing with buying silver and gold. If you don't have some of the basic tools to test and validate that the metals that you're buying are in fact authentic, you can spend a lot of money only to find out later on that you've been hoodwinked, hornswoggled. You don't want to do that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about when you're buying gold, when you're buying silver, when you're buying numismatic items, kind of what the advantages are. So here we got an 1849 gold double eagle. Now, this is a double eagle because it has $20 on the reverse. If it were a eagle, it would have a $10 denomination. If it were a half eagle, it would have a $5 denomination on the back. But what is the value of this coin? So when we look at spot value, we look at price of gold, we see the price of gold hovering, plus or minus 50, right around that $2,000 mark. So we know that this is about an ounce of gold. I think it's like 0.96 or something like that. So you have a really good, valuable $2,000 coin, right? Well, no, because numismatics is different than just standard gold. And many of us know this, but not everybody does. What is the value of this particular coin? So there's some things that you need to look at. You need to look at the quality of the stamp. You need to look at how it was struck, right? You need to look at, are there any varieties? Is there any doubling on the coin? Is there an overdate? Is there the wrong reverse, right? There's a lot of things that you can look at. And Steve, I'll get to that in just a minute. Yeah, bin $1. Don't you wish? I would love to even own one of these. I unfortunately do not. But when you look at it, it's like, okay, so face value, it's 20 bucks. Well, what is the true value of this coin? Right now, Paula's in the chat. She might be able to kind of bring us up to speed on what the numismatic importance of this was, or what the actually, you know what, you all can do this in chat if you want to look this up. If you have the capability to do this while we're doing it, right? How many of them were there, right? And so, Coach just says, interesting, applying a financial plan to a coin collecting. Well, you have to, right? Because and I'm gonna get there in just a minute. I'm kind of going around. Isn't that, yeah, I wish it was mine, William Me. I really wish it was mine. I don't own a double eagle. Actually, the largest denomination gold I have is a quarter, so a quarter ounce. So that's the biggest one I got. What's going on, Eric? How you doing? So let's go ahead and shift over to this image. Okay, I only have 4 images that I'm going to share. Then I'm going to go back to the whole idea lab and leave that on there. And then I'm going to come up. Then I'm going to bring a couple people up to chit chat. But I want to talk about the difference between numismatic value and currency. Now, you can see here that when we're talking about the value of the coins, you have the $2.50 gold eagle up in the left. You have the 1914 wheat cent. You have the 2023 or you have the 2023 ASC. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's a W mint mark. The WA is the um, Adolf Weinman logo. If in case you didn't know that, those are his initials. A lot of people don't realize that there's an A in the WA under In God We Trust, and that's Adolf Weinman's initials. So if you didn't know that, hey, you learned something today. And then you have fiat, the fiat currency, the $20 bill. Now, is the $20 bill worth anything? Well, of course it is, right? Because there's been a set value on it. But what is the currency value itself? Well, it depends, right? Just like with coinage, you have varieties, you have errors, you have prints, you have off center prints, you have off cuts, you have off center labels. You can look at this particular one, you can see that the uh, serial number is actually shifted to the left a little bit. So it doesn't align perfectly. But again, not a big deal, right? It's off just a little bit, but it's not really a big deal, not really worth a whole lot. But here's where the difference between for the small amount of 22.5 million. Yeah, exactly. I was going to get there to you. Thank you, Paula. And she's talking about this one, 22.5 million. You can own this particular coin. But what I want to talk about today is having a plan. And the reason that I want you to start thinking about planning and coordinating is it's important when you're stacking, whether it's stacking silver or gold, whether it's you're hedging yourself against inflation, whether you're protecting yourself against the government shift in money, working on that 30 notion, that 1930s notion that there's a potential that gold and silver could be made, taken over, possessed by the government, that type of thing, if you're one of those kind of people. But my concern is more around understanding what you have. First off, if you're collecting, you want to make sure you know what you're collecting. You want to make sure you know what you have. So the first part about this plan is creating a plan, documenting, invoice. I'm going to share you a tool, really easy if you have the Microsoft Suite or if you have Apple. There's programs that you can get. They're absolutely free to help you track and stack your inventory. It's really important if you're going to be purchasing in 2024 to know what you have. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to save about $1,500 for a coin. And then when you go to stick it in a book or you go to do something, you're looking through something and you find out you already had it. Now, it's one thing if you already have the coin and you want to sell it and upgrade it. That's a totally different thing. But actually not having an awareness of the items that you have within your stack or your collection can be detrimental. Not always. The rules apply a little bit different to stacking than they do in numismatics. But the general rule of thumb is you still want to know what you have, especially on the collector's front. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just flip through here and I'm going to show you a very basic run of the mill inventory list. And this is something that you can do on your computer. You can print it out, you can stick it with your coins. So the first part in planning is knowing what you have, taking inventory. We have to do this in our lives. We have to do this at work. We have to take stock in who we are, what we possess, what we believe. We have to look at integrity and morality. We have to take all those things into consideration when we make certain decisions. Now, a lot of time, inventory. Now, Eric laughs jokingly, but there are some people who are very, very good about this. I'm not one of them. I have a partial inventory list and I am working on doing my inventory. Fortunately for me, I'm one of these people who's only been collecting for a very short amount of time. So I don't have a ton of stuff. I've got a fairly good amount, but I don't have a ton of stuff. For those of you that have been collecting 10, 20, 30 years, this is like a very daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. You can actually put a very good inventory list together without much to do, simply by making your inventory list items in bulk. So let's say that you're like Eric Bayer or Chuck Daughtry, where you're collecting Lincoln cents and you're not collecting them by the roll, you're collecting them by the box. You can simply count the number of boxes you have for each year. Simply list the years between 1909 and 19 or 2023 and then document what you have. The reason for this is simple. If you want to do so, for instance, in copper coins, they're going to do a coin reveal. They want to do this. Let's say that, and this has happened on a couple occasions. They open a roll that they get that's promised to be BU, and they open it up, and it is spotted, it is damaged, it's whatever. They know exactly how many of what they have and they know where to go to get it. It's extremely important when you're running a business to know your inventory, know where you have, know what's there. So if something does happen, you want to come through. I'm getting there in just a minute too, William E. Thank you for saying that. It's an extremely important point. The other thing that you want to look at is if you don't have an inventory when you go to purchase, how do you know what you really need to buy? A lot of times we buy on reaction. We say this all the time. FOMO, fear of missing out. You see something, you're like, oh, I need to have one of those. Now, sometimes that's okay. It's okay to buy the shiny thing every once in a while. It's okay to buy that $150 ounce of silver because it's got that special alien on it, or it's got that special design of somebody that you support, AC/DC, right? something like that, a really rare, you know, 2,500 limited edition run. You love the band, you decide, "Hey, I just wanna do it." That's absolutely fine to do, but you do not want to pay and spend your money like that over and over and over again, because recouping the value of that is probably not gonna happen. That collection, that stack, that set of information that you're trying to build, that you're trying to put together, that you're trying to manage for the ones that are going to take that when you pass. How are they going to do that if they don't even know where to start? Remember, they're not adept at this as you are. Now, many of you in chat, yeah, see, that's exactly where I'm going with this, coach. A lot of people teach their kids, or they explain to their spouse, or in my case, try to explain to my spouse what I have. She doesn't really care. She knows that there's a couple that are very pretty. She knows that I bought her a couple coins that she really likes. She puts them away in her little box, puts them with her jewelry stuff, puts them in her little safe, and then she's done. She's got it. She knows she has it. She's cool with it, but she doesn't understand the value. I sit down and try to talk to her about it. She really doesn't want to know. It's not because they're not interested in what we love to do. My wife is absolutely happy that I have a hobby that I'm able to learn and share information with, but it's not her thing. Yeah, Chappie, I saw that. Um, but the problem is that many people don't. Their family don't even know that they collect. They don't even know that they have certain items. Case in point, if you remember when I first started out, now I had been collecting kind of, I wouldn't even call it collecting. I've been gathering coins for a number of years. Mine loves to spend and questions why, we don't have any money, but she wants to go on a cruise in 8 days, and it's like, oh, you're funny. Anyway, when you're looking at these kind of things, they don't know what you have, and it's easy when you're there to just go, well, I'll just tell her. Well, when you pass away, who's going to be there to explain, right? If your husband doesn't collect coins and he is like, well, I'm looking at your stuff, you've got like, $75 worth of change here, when in fact maybe you have one of those two coins, those three coins that I showed. Maybe you're one of the fortunate ones that has a pre-1825 Dahlonega gold coin worth 8, 10, 12, 25, 50, 200, 300, $500,000. Do you want to take the gamble of them only knowing that the face value is $5? That coin that I showed just a minute ago, right? We'll get back to this. Face value is only worth 20 bucks. If this gets dropped into a Coinstar, what happens if the Coinstar accepts it? Or what happens if the Coinstar rejects it? They just don't see it. Somebody walks by. Man, it'd be a hell of a find, right? It's going to make you want to check all these Coinstars. But if you don't have your information inventoried, if you don't have your collection inventoried, you're making a huge risk. You're taking an unnecessary risk in not setting your family up. Hey, what's up, Walker Magnet? Thanks for coming in. It's an honor to have you here, brother. You're taking a huge gamble if you don't have some sort of inventory of the items that you have and potential values. And this is why I showed you this general list. Now, this is not a real inventory list. This is just something that I threw together this morning. It comes from Excel. There's a lot of programs that you can do this. In fact, it's quite easy. If you want to do a really one, I'm just going to walk you through this really quickly. I'm going to come up here and click on more templates, and I'm going to click on inventory. And I can actually open up and it'll give me a ton of different templates that you can find for inventory. They have wine collection, fixed asset record. You can do this for equipment. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Book collection list. If you're a collector like myself who likes to put things in books and you want to document what the book is and what the gaps are, you can definitely do something like this. It doesn't have to be very complicated. And in fact, it's quite easy to open it up. All you do is you open up the template. You can download a bunch of these from Microsoft.com. If you're utilizing Apple and you want to utilize the Apple program, they have versions of this as well. There's style sheets, but there's a lots of ways to do a budget. You simply just click create. It's going to load it up, and now you start plugging your information in. Now, let's say that you don't want to necessarily do copyright date, not a problem. Let's say that you want to do um, binder type, okay, or you want to do you have the publisher. So if you're going to be doing Dansco, or if you have some of the Whitmans or things like that, it's really easy to edit, put some of these things in, and then start documenting your information. It's like exercising. It's not difficult to do. You just got to get off your butt and do it. All right. So going back to this, now I'm going to leave this here. I'm not going to go anywhere else. I'm going to leave this back on the business, the strategy, talking about 2024. Once you get your inventory things put together, then you need to shift to understand your budget. Oh, look at who just showed up.
Hello. I had to
Hello.
wait for my coffee to get done.
Oh man, see this, I love this lady. She understands priority.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Frosty stream or coffee? Coffee. Absolutely. Yes. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I'm just getting ready to talk about budget. Now I've got an example here. And I know a lot of you were like, "Oh my god, this is a coin show. Why in the hell are we talking about finance and stuff like this?" And it's because I want you to be smart. I want you to save your money. I want you guys to be able to buy coins, right? But I also don't want anyone that I know going into debt and paying interest on a coin for 3 years and then ending up paying 4 times the amount of money for that coin that they would have if they would have budgeted, put the money away, and then just bought the coin outright. So I want you guys to be smart about this. So I'm going to show you an example of a wise budget. Now, I'm going to show you a very simple budget. I'm actually going to go back here like I did before. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on the more templates and I'm going to type in budget. Now, when you click on the budget, this comes up. There's going to be one that I actually really like this, but I absolutely hate it. It's an oversimplification. Okay. You got your income. This is your basic college fund. You got your, let's go ahead and move that. You got how much is coming in, how much is going out, but it doesn't allow for identification of where me says, I got coffee from Frosty Street.
I don't know what he's saying.
I have no idea. And
No,
I'm being productive. So I think he probably went through a drive-through and got coffee, but that one kind of caught my eye. I was like, what the hell is Frosty Street? But so there's some good with this. Number one, there's an attempt. People know what money's coming in, what money's going out, how much they have left over. So from that aspect, it's really good. But the problem is this doesn't give you any insight as to how much of an overage in certain categories there are. How many of you, by a raise of hand, go in, click on the little emoji, and actually raise your hand? How many of you buy Starbucks coffee?
Dutch
I'm going to
Bros.
give you, say again.
Dutch Bros.
Well, okay, same thing. You're right. Or coffee grounds or local coffee or whatever. How many go to a coffee shop at
Me.
least 3 times a week?
Me.
Okay, I do too,
I do.
right? Whenever I go out. Now, I work at home. I do YouTube at home. I go out and pick up my daughter and do stuff like that, but I don't go out as much as I do when I was going to the office. Okay. There's a lot of people's like, nope, homebrew. Nope, I don't buy Starbucks. See, I'm loving seeing this. Okay. And the reason is I taught my daughter Bifrost, and you all know her from her artwork, a very simplistic budgetary item. $5 each visit. Now it's actually more like 6 now because the prices are going up again. But let's say $6 for a venti caramel latte. And you do that 3 times a week. That's $18 a week. Just for rounding up for simplicity, I'm going to say 20. Okay, so we got $20 a week going out. There are 4 weeks in a month. That's 80 bucks. You multiply that by 12, right? And you're looking at 960 bucks. Talking about $1,000 a year if you only buy one 3 times a week. Now, let's go ahead and bump that up to you buy one every day. Now it's $5 times 365. And now you're almost $18,000.
I love my coffee. I don't
Okay.
care.
Well, but again, this is where but do you budget for it?
Well, I don't. So I don't have a budget. Wah, wah. I don't do a budget. Because I know how much I have that comes in every month, and I know how much goes out with bills, and then I know how much is left over. So that's all. I know how much every month, how much goes out for bills because it's a steady, they're always the same. There's little fluctuation in the electric bill. But then I know about how much I have left over every month. So
So
yeah,
when we look at what Paula does, Paula follows this budget. No, this
I'm
is
very
not a
it's
problem.
very simple. Yeah, it's
It's
very simple.
very simple. And this is what I want people to understand. I don't mind if you do this, but do it. Know what you have coming in, know what you have coming out. There are so many people that they don't even know dollar amount what they have coming in each month
Or what their bills are.
or what their bills are. So I'm going to
Yeah.
show you, and this is not my budget. Mine's a little bit more complicated than this because I budget because I have different revenue streams and I have things like, child support and schooling and all that other stuff that I have to take care of. But this is
Yeah.
not mine. But the purpose is I want you to project,
Hi, Ray.
right? If you really want to get into your budget, right? Have your projected in your actual costs. And the reason that this is important is because when you start to begin to understand where your stuff goes in, you need to identify sectors in which
Hello,
continue to go up. What price points, what sectors, what areas are the prices continuing to rise? Now, I don't have groceries on here, and I don't have groceries on here for a reason. It's because I want to talk about groceries.
Because it never used to be, it need to be on there.
My wife and I sat down and looked at we
Hi.
have 2 kids in the house, and the 2 of us, we have 2 dogs. Now, we make our own dog food. We don't go buy the other stuff. We have a kibble mix that we'll buy for him, but the dog's budget's about 250 bucks a month. That's including all their treats and everything else. But when we look at our actual budget for food, we used to get by with about $1,400 a month. Now we're almost 3,000 a month.
Yeah. Wow.
So if you're not really being savvy with your money or being aware of where that money's going, it's going to eat you alive. Now, I use the grocery thing and the eat you alive for as a play on words, but you need to know what you have, because if you continue to buy coins or you continue to buy bullion or you continue to buy that stuff and throwing that on your credit card with quote unquote the intent to pay, you're going to find yourself in a massive hole paying thousands and thousands of dollars for something that's not worth what you paid for it. Because your bottom line dollar is going to be way, way, way higher than what it would be as if you just bought it outright. So I don't want to belabor this too much anymore. I just kind of wanted to go through and talk about planning for 2024. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and just leave it back at this graphic and kind of just have some more chit chat regarding planning for 2024. So I'm going to tell you what my goal is for 2024. Obviously, everybody has their own goal, everybody has their own strategy. I have 5 books that I'm working on. And the reason that I'm doing this is I need a visualization of what I have. I want to be able to see it get filled. I want to be able to feel like I'm making progress in something that I'm doing. Now, not everybody likes books.
Hate them.
Okay. Not everybody likes books. And if you don't like books, then that's fine. You don't have to do it that way. But I do it personally just for me because it helps me see when things are getting filled. I can open up, I'll flip this around.
I don't not like them for because I like the organization part. Like you're talking about the organization part. I just hate them because they're not good for the coins.
Oh no, they're not.
I don't like them.
Yeah. And all of my top end coins are not in books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for
I take a little piece of paper and I've done that, and I'll grab it real quick. I've done that with this book because I have a couple books. This is my typeset book where none of my dollar coins are in this book. They're in slabs.
You and I have talked about it before. I like just the binders that you get from Staples or whatever and Pocket Pages. Much better than those books. But I mean, those books are great for kids. Like they're super good for kids to get kids started.
Yeah.
Like really good for kids, you know.
These little boxes.
Yeah, I don't use those either. I use the albums just because but it's personal preference, right? I like to be able to open the albums and see what I have and not have to thumb through a box, like thumb through all the flips and stuff. So I just put my coins in flips. I buy the binders and the Pocket Pages, and then I just put the flips. Yeah, the 2x2s. I just put the flips 2x2s in the Pocket Pages. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, because you could buy one of these for like $8.
Yeah, I buy cheap binders. I buy the cheapest binders I can find, the 3-ring binders.
Now Coin Cruise, like I use boxes. Well,
yeah,
when you're doing volume, yes.
Yeah, but that's tough because you have to, like, you can't just, you know, open a box and go, okay, your coin is the 30th from the front. You know what I mean? I guess you could if you're Chuck, but
I was just about to say that. I know somebody that can do that.
I know if you're Chuck, but it's just too tough. Like I want to be able to just open it up and see what I have. Like I have a piece of paper in the front of the album that tells me exactly what coin is in what slot. All the pages are not, all the slots on the pages are numbered, so it's easy for me.
One thing go ahead, finish your thought.
I just grab the page that's in the front that's, you know, that has everything that's in that album, and I go, okay, this one's on page 6, slot C, and then I can just go open up the album and grab the coin. It's easy that way for me. So, but it's personal preference, whatever's easiest for you.
But you know? I want to bring back the point of inventory. Just because you have them in a book doesn't mean your book is structured in a way that you actually know what you have.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're going to do them, right? And this is kind of the faux pas. This is why for people who aren't good at this, right? You're talking about kids or whatever, getting them familiar with what the coins look like and doing stuff like that. The books are really good. These and Paula, you and I have talked about this a number of times. I love these books. I've got like 30 of them. And I've got books with like 19 pages of nothing
Right.
because I know that, like, for my 1964, and Eric's going to laugh, my mint mark varieties, I've got a single book for 1964, right? Because there's like
1960,
500 of them
60.
or 60. I'm sorry, 60.
Yeah.
There's like 500 of them between Philadelphia and Denver, right? Let alone if you want to get into San Francisco. So I have
Well,
one book,
there wouldn't be any mint mark varieties for
well, Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
but no, well, not mint mark varieties, but you do have double dice,
You do.
off-center planchets. There's a
Yeah.
lot of other issues, right? So,
I know,
yeah,
right, Eric?
I know you guys, but
I'm just being a
giving me a
nitpicker.
ration, that's
I'm
okay.
nitpicking.
But that's good, that's good. See, this is
I'm
why
only
I
having
like
a
this.
cup of coffee.
But my whole point with today's talk is, one, it's just be smart about what you wanna get. So I told you about my plan, right? I've got books that I wanna fill.
Yeah.
Now, for about 6 months of this last year, I went a little crazy, right? FOMO got a hold of me and I bought and bought and bought and bought and bought. And I have stuff and I look back at it now and go, I bought this for $43. Spots 24. It was, why did I buy it? What was my thinking? I'll never recoup the money from it.
Because you got caught up
I got caught up in the rhetoric.
in the
I got caught up
moment.
in the moment and FOMO kicked me in the tail. So I'm not going to do that to myself this year. I'm limiting myself on what
That's
I
right.
want. When I go to an auction or when I go to a coin store or when I go to a coin show, I have my 3 or 4 coins that I want to purchase. And then I'll set something extra aside and say, this is what I want. There are some people that don't have to worry about this. I would love to be independently wealthy and have mounds of money and just be able to buy what I want. Um, but
Yeah, but
this,
the thing is your want list just changes. The more money you have, the more your want list changes. It just changes to more expensive stuff. So, right?
well, yeah, and I was talking with a gentleman the other day about budgets. I told him kind of what my idea was, and he's like, "It's a great topic." He said, "But how many people are really going to be engaged?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "Everybody wants to do it, but it's
It's true.
difficult to get started.
That is true.
How engaged do you think people will be?" And my comment to him is, I don't want people to clean their coins either. I'm going to teach them not to clean their coins, but people ultimately do
Right.
what they're going to do. But what kind of responsible personality would I be if I didn't say, take time to inventory your stuff? Have an idea of what you want to do for 2024. Write your stuff down. Make a list. Make smart decisions. If you are looking for particular items, and I'm glad Coin Crew and Mrs. Coin Crew are in the house because I've done this with them. I'm looking for these particular coins. Can you help me find them? Because I know that I might not, because my budget's tight, I might not be in their auction because I might not be able to afford being in their auction.
Mhm.
But I can still go to them and say, I'm looking for these particular items. Can you help me out? And you know what they do? Angel texts me all the time. Hey, I ran across this coin. You said you were looking for it. You interested? It's 18 bucks. It's 22 bucks. It's 40 bucks. And I'm like, absolutely. So what do I get to do? I get to support a channel and a coin shop that I enjoy, but they're looking specifically for what I need or what I have decided I'm going to collect.
Yeah.
So we have great people in the community who will be more than happy to work with you and do those kind of things. Accidents happen, absolutely, and it's okay to make those mistakes. The problem is that I see this over and over and over again is it becomes the norm. Hey, stacking with Kraken, thank you for that. Frosty, you're important to the community. I appreciate you, bud. That means a lot
Checking
to
with
me.
the button cracking.
My comment is there are people that can help you attain and achieve your goals, whether it be in stacking,
I don't have
whether
any
it
goals.
be, huh?
Some of us just don't have goals. Some of us
No, no,
just
no.
collect whatever we like, whatever.
But if you have a problem with FOMO, you have a problem with just going and going and going and going and going, buying and buying and buying and buying and buying with no direction, there's a huge possibility that you're gonna get frustrated with a hobby.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what I'm trying to give you are pieces of information that's going to help you continue to enjoy the hobby. Have a plan, right? I've got this
Mm.
little light bulb here and this little business logo. Plan, idea, concept, right? Team, effort, right? You don't need stacks and graphs and charts and all this other crap. There's some people that absolutely have to have that. Good morning, brown sugar. There's some people that absolutely have to have that kind of structure in their life. And if you're that kind of person, but you don't really know how to utilize it to do the coin thing, let me know. This is why I was like, if there's anybody who's really in finance, let me know, raise your hand, and I'll bring you up and we can talk about strategy. I am I have a video conversation that I'm building and working with somebody. I'm probably not going to make it a video. We'll probably do live. I've got a banking investor that I'm talking to. I've got a really good solid stacker that I'm working with. I'm going to be reaching out to a couple other channels that have coin shows or do coin shows that have coin shops, so things like that. Working with people who own businesses in the financial industry and kind of talking about this from a how to build a community, right? Now we have a great community here, but how many of you in chat, how many of you know who your finance people are? Now we know Coin Crew, we know Mrs. Coin Crew, we know that they have a shop, we know Big Flip, we know the people who do the auctions, we know the people who do the games, we know the people who do live coin Q&A. We know the major kind of chunks of things, but how many people know who they can go to help them set themselves up in their plan? In the professional world, I am a programs systems analyst. I look at quality improvement. I work specifically in the medical field, but my job is process improvement. My job is to look at ways to take existing systems and find out either how we can more utilize them efficiently or how can we improve them? How can we reduce waste? How can we do those kind of things? I'm going to start taking my normal work skill set and bringing that into the coin collecting world and sharing with you guys tips and strategies as well as varieties, looking at things like how can we utilize this information to better our hobby. I know too many people in the short time that I've been doing this who have walked away from the hobby in 2023 because of frustration, spending too much money where they shouldn't, not having a plan, buying a whole bunch of stuff and then having an emergency situation and only being able to recoup 20-30% of it.
You know what's really sad is that I've been in the YouTube coin community for about 6-7 years now. And this is something that has been discussed that entire time. And some people will listen and some people won't. There's unfortunately, when you have a hobby like this where new people are continuously coming in, the sad thing is it's usually the new people that get caught up in all of that and that we lose. You know, they don't stay in the hobby.
Well,
And
Miss
and
Gwen,
and
yeah,
Frostbite pushing this is a great thing because it's something that needs to be talked about continuously, because if we don't bring new people into this hobby and this hobby dies, our coin collections are worthless anyway,
yeah,
because there won't be anybody there to buy the coin collections.
yeah.
So
So I thank you for saying that.
well,
Again, we
it
have,
just a lot of people think this kind of stuff is redundant, that they hear it continuously. Well, there's a reason for that. So you do
and
it needs to be talked about. Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, right? I'm not going to be. I'm trying to enjoy myself and have fun, and I'm still going to crack stupid jokes, and I'm still going to put out the funny dad videos, and I'm still going to be doing all of that kind of stuff. And I'm not every week is not going to be financial expert, hey, Frosty, the financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am a process improvement. I am a strategist. I can look at information and say, hey, these are where I see the gaps in. I can watch a week's worth of channels and engagement and stuff like that and say, okay, so what did you do during this week? What did you purchase, right? What did you do? I don't need to know that information, but I want people to understand that it's really easy. And I go back to the Starbucks thing. It's really easy on your way to work or McDonald's or Hardee's or Arby's or wherever your vice is in the morning or on your way home. Stop in to grab an ice cream cone. Um, banana nut bread ice cream.
Oh, stop it now.
Right? Whatever your vice is, right? Enjoy them,
Yes.
right? Enjoy them. That's why you do it. I'm not telling you to stop enjoying what you do. I'm just saying I want to work with you to be smarter about it. So in 2024, when I talk about my plan for stacking for personally is I'm going to stack 250 ounces of silver. I want to try and stack 1 ounce of gold in 2024. That's my stacking goals. It's small. It's all I can do. It's in my budget. That's all I can do. And I'll be okay. If I can meet that goal, I'm good. But numismatically, which is where my focus really is, I want to finish 4 books this year. That's including buying a couple valuable coins.
Yeah.
In 2024, I will be buying my 1916D Mercury dime. It
There you
is
go.
the one coin that I'm buying this year,
Yep. Get a bucket lister.
right? I'm choosing to focus the energy that I do on that particular item. So I'm not going to be buying a lot of other stuff. And I look at my budget, I look at where I'm at. You look at spending, $200 a month on a piece of gold, $250 a month on a 10th ounce, right? If I do that for the 10 months, then I'm going to have my ounce of gold. We have, 8 ounces of silver every month. Am I going to meet my goal? No. Am I going to meet my silver goal? Maybe not. Is my silver goal too lofty? Probably, because I still are going to have to put the money aside for the other. So I might have to reevaluate my goals. And that's fine. This is why you set short term goals. Can you achieve it? Can you attain it? Can I do the $250 a month? Yes. Did it hurt me? No. Okay. How much extra did I have? Can I do the extra 4 ounces of silver? No. Okay, well, then I'm going to probably have to adjust. If gold is my focus, then I'm going to have to adjust my silver intake. If silver is my focus, then I'm going to have to adjust my gold intake. If my intake is numismatic, that's going to be my focus this year, then I might have to reduce both my silver and gold stack. I can do that, not a problem. But set short term goals. Set yourself up for success. But the only way you're going to set yourself up for success is by doing this. Have a plan, have some short term goals. I want to buy 2 grams of gold in January. It's a really, really easy. Coin Crew says I like silver for 2024. Okay. Mike said the same thing. His brother, Mid America Coins, said the same thing. They're really, really good discussion on silver, gold, strategies for moving forward and stuff. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. Mike Boyer is another Mid America Coins is another great resource, right? He's frequently on Ida's channel in the morning, or he's on Coin Cruise on the Tuesdays chit chat and stuff. And from a bullion dealer, you talk about those two guys together, the coin shop front, the bullion dealer front. You have questions about that, send your questions to them. Talk to them. What they had, what is a good size stack? What is your goal? What can you do? Find those people that you can trust and reach out to them. When I am looking at strategies for 2024 and stacking silver, I'm going to be watching people who are talking about strategies in 2024. Key and point, I'm going to be watching Mid America Coins. I'm going to be talking to Mike.
I was just going to say, but you can be careful because you can watch 20 different channels and get 20 different pieces of advice.
Well, and that's again, so
everybody has their own strategies. They have their own opinions on the market. So just be careful with that because
So, but here's, and this is one thing that this is not a popular opinion in a lot of people's thinking.
Do your own homework.
Yeah. Listen to everybody. Trust no one.
Yeah. Do your own work. Do your own homework.
Okay. Get everybody's input.
Exactly, Eric.
Right. And then what is your truth? What is your goal? What best aligns with your strategy? But don't discount all the other comments. Here's now I talk about AI, and we have certain channels in our community that are cancer to the hobby.
Horrible.
Right? Absolute cancer to the hobby. One has to do with a potato, or because if you sit on it, you turn into a potato.
It's a piece of furniture.
It is a piece of furniture.
So I'm just gonna real quick. So I've known him for years, almost as long as I've been on YouTube. I've known him. Good kid, but has gone into the wrong direction. The little green-eyed monster has bit him hard.
Yeah.
So
it's about lining pocketbook. It's not about giving people good information.
Yeah, he is getting bad information that he is passing on. Yeah. That's the problem with him. And he's not getting the best. Yeah, he does not have the best source of information himself.
No.
So
who you align yourself with is very important. So this is why the adage, listen to everybody, trust no one, is important. Now, there are people that you have to surround yourself, and I'm going to name off 5 or 6 people that are my go-tos. One of them's here with me right now, Paula. I kid you not. Paula is a mentor. Coin Crew, right? I work with Coin Crew a lot. Coin Crew's helped me understand getting in and setting stuff up. Coin Crew, Mrs. Coin Crew have been great friends to me. They have coin shops. Mike Boyer of Mid America Coins, really always open and available to share information, right? You want to know who my gatekeeper is in the community? Ida Herring. Ida knows everybody. And you want to provide, you want somebody to get good information? Ask Ida who she recommends. And then ask Paula if she's okay. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. It's a play on words. Because there's a lot of love and banter that goes on between those two if you haven't ever paid attention to that.
Absolutely.
I will watch if I'm looking for stacking and I'm looking for understanding, kind of like shopping around for value, looking at what I'm going to hit Silver Seeker, right? I'm going to be looking at people who their intent is to provide good, solid information. But I'm also going to be aligning myself with people who love certain aspects of coin. Now, I don't know if he's in here because I've kind of been watching chat a little bit, but is Philip the Board in here? I haven't seen him this morning. If I'm looking for Mercury dimes, he's my first person I'm going to, because he's an aficionado of Mercury dimes. So I'm going to call him and say, hey, where have you looked? What have you found? This is what I'm looking for. Can you keep an eye out for me? If I'm going to be looking for certain scents, you guys know exactly where I go. Eric Beyer, Charles Daughtry.
Charles.
Chuck. But a lot of people, Chuck, but
Charles.
when you look it up, it's going to come up Charles Daughtry. It may not come up Chuck Daughtry. So I use his proper name because when it's looking at that stuff.
This makes me giggle every time. It's just so formal.
So when I hear Charles, you know who I think of?
Charles.
But no, when I hear the word,
when you hear Charles in charge.
Charles. No. MASH. Charles Winchester III. Because he was the epitome of a proper, right? So the Charles, the appropriate name, it always just makes me think of that. But I'm going to surround myself with the people who know those things. If I'm going to be looking at 2-cent pieces, you know who I'm calling?
Shay.
So know what you collect and know who the aficionados of those items are. If I'm going to be looking at currency, and I don't collect currency, I have some currency, but I don't collect it. If I'm going to be collecting that, who am I going to go to? I'm going to go to Sean.
Kingdom Currency.
Kingdom Currency. Shannon. Right? I'm going to be going to those people who love that kind of stuff because they're the ones who do the research. They're the ones that are passionate about it. In my professional career, I'm not the boss. I am the connecting point of a bunch of different, extremely smart, intelligent, professional people. I'm kind of the connecting rod. People come to me to find out because I believe in network. I believe in knowing who key players are. And I want to be able to do that for you. A lot of people tell me that, Frosty, what you're doing is channel genocide. You're building and promoting other channels, and it's not. And I'll be honest with you. If you come to my channel and you listen and you find out that all the information that you're looking for is at Livecoin Q&A, and you end up at Livecoin Q&A, and you never come back to my channel, I am okay with that. If you're getting what you need. And if that's not the fit for you and you need somebody else, come back. Let's talk. Let's find the fit for you. If you're stacking and you're looking for that and you need connection, Let's connect you to the people that best fit your need. This is why I'm here. My plan for 2024 is to be connection rods to the folks that watch my channel and find those people who benefit from that. Find those people who can help you. I go to certain people because those are the people I trust with information to give me good, accurate, reliable intel on a specific coin. I won't go to anybody but Eric and Chuck if I'm going to be doing cents because the combined knowledge. Now, caveat of that, if I'm looking at a variety or an error and we're trying to identify, I'm also bringing Paula in. I'm also bringing Shay in.
Nope.
They're
Sorry.
nope. I'm also bringing in their resources because Paula has connections that I don't have.
Might.
Not might. Absolutely. But again, you don't have to have all the information. There was a manager that I had that was a superb boss, a horrible manager, but a superb leader. And the reason that they were a superb leader is because they knew all the people who knew that job and they brought them onto the team. They knew the experts. They knew the people who were passionate about that. They may not even be the smartest person in that field, but they were the most passionate about it. They had the hunger to learn. And she was a terrible manager. Managed people. But what she didn't understand is that she had surrounded herself with people that didn't need to be managed.
The middleman.
But a lot of people do that. I don't need to manage your expectations. I just want to know them.
Well, I think too, you need to look at, consider your source and what is their motivation. Like when you, and I'm just going to talk about us for a second on the LiveCoin Q&A, and I'm not bragging, but I'm bragging because I'm proud of it, proud of what it's become. The entire mission of the LiveCoin Q&A is just to educate. That's it. And we love what we do. We absolutely love it. We don't have a financial motive, no other motive other than to promote the hobby and educate. And that's it. So we make sure that the information that we pass on to you is accurate because we want you to be able to pass that information on to other people. So if we don't know, if you ask us a question we don't know, we have no problem telling you we don't know that, but I'm going to go, like I tell people all the time, I'm not positive about this coin, so I'm going to ask Ken Potter, or I'm going to ask Joe Cronin. I'm going to ask so-and-so, if it's a variety, so we have those resources that we use to double check our answers. I was always taught in school to double check my answers, right? Because like I said, we don't want, if you go out and you pass on bad information, somebody says, where did you learn that? And you go to LiveCoin Q&A, that makes us look terrible.
Yeah.
And we don't want to look terrible.
Well, they don't want their knowledge to look terrible.
Yeah.
That's why most of them just leave their icon up.
We want you guys to, we want you to become teachers yourselves and not have to come to us with questions. So, yeah, there's that. You have to know who you're getting your information from.
Intent matters.
It does. It does. Intent matters. There's
right?
a lot of
Words
people out
matter.
there that mean well. There's a lot of people out there that mean well, but they have just got bad information themselves. And then there's others who don't, who just want your money. They want your clicks. They want you to watch a, 20, 30-second video and get your clicks, and that's it. So
For instance, there's a Coin English Tea Garden.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that it's like
I
so.
don't know why you don't just say that name, because that channel is
Coins of
horrible.
Rosie is toxic.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
and they have like 3 different channels with 3 different names.
Yeah,
They're
and
not even
so
from the United States.
the issue with theirs is that it's all about misinformation. Now, I'm going to say this:
And they steal people's videos
I am not a conspiracy
entirely.
theorist, but I'm going to tell you that channels like that are what's utilized in warfare. Now, when I'm talking about warfare, anybody who doesn't think that a devaluing of the currency system isn't warfare really needs to understand what warfare is. Warfare is not conventional like we used to have. Like there's still an aura of conventional warfare, but destabilizing a currency,
It is a con.
destabilizing knowledge about a currency, buying those
Thanks, Farm Dog.
items and selling the fakes to devalue generates currency for that host nation and devalues what we have here. Thanks, Chappie. Appreciate you, bud.
Thanks. See, Happy Chappy. 2 months of great information. Awesome.
Well, you know what's cool is people's like, it's 2 months. Well, that's OG for me. So
The Planchet. Yeah.
but it's actual warfare, and you've got to be really careful. Now, here's the thing that really bothers me about that. A lot of channels, and I actual talk, I'm not going to mention the name because I was entrusted with being asked not to, but they will inadvertently, and you've probably seen this channel because they do gold and they do coin, but it's all gold bullion, right? That's their thing. So if you're a stacker and you've watched gold bullion and mints, so to speak, you will have seen this channel. They inadvertently stumbled across something that caused their views to quadruple. And those 2 items were dissension and purposefully labeling something wrong.
Hmm.
So they would call something a coin when it was a bar. And people would engage and engage and engage and engage and engage and argue and fight and cause dissension. And those posts would blow up.
Hmm.
If you engage in that, you are supporting the algorithm.
That is true.
And so he's like, I know I do it. It is what it is. People can challenge me on it. Doesn't matter. My volume has increased threefold. But where's the integrity? Well, there's no integrity there.
Right.
Right? Do I support his channel anymore? I don't. I've point blank told him I won't support his channel anymore. I won't watch it. I actually click on the not interested when his stuff comes up because I don't want to support that stuff because I really want to provide good information. I have a real avid belief
It's
in
true.
integrity. It's a core value. If you're a military member, you know exactly what core value is, right? Integrity is the premise of all core values within the military.
Doing the right thing even when nobody's watching.
Yeah, right. It's and integrity and morality don't get them mixed up, right? I can be an immoral person but have huge integrity, right? But again, just know your sources. Surround yourself with people who want to do you well, right? And avoid and be aware of those people who talk a good game, because there are those people who talk a good game, but really understand their intent. Go to them when you're down and out and ask them what they should do. They're like, man, that's tough. It's a rough situation. Wish I could help you.
Kick rocks.
Are those the people you want to surround yourself with? So, planning 2024, if there is anything that I can do to help, I want to leave you with this. Now, we can do general chit chat, but as far as the topic goes, we've only got 20 minutes before we head into the premier train. But I want to leave you with this. Number one, have a plan. Short term is fine, a month, a couple weeks, but plan something. Set yourself up. Look at what you want to accomplish. Set a small goal, 25 ounces of silver, right? I want to get 2 grams of gold in January. Make that your plan. If that's all you can afford, make that your plan. What do I have to do to be able to attain that?
Yeah.
I want to,
Avoid the temptation of keeping up with the Joneses. Don't try to do that.
yeah.
Don't try to compare your collection to anybody else's. Don't, jealousy's it's real. It's a real thing, and it's easy to be jealous of other people's collections and what other people have. But
Oh, you guys want to know?
try to avoid that.
I have collection envy on a
Yeah.
level that no one really understands, because I like cool things, right? Now, a lot of the stuff I have isn't of high dollar value, but I like it. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the video that I'm going to be doing, it's called The Wand. It's something that Ringmaster Ray did, and I got it.
That's so cool.
It's awesome, right? It cost a good chunk of change, but it's the thing that I like. And Ringmaster Ray worked with me, and over the course of a little while was ever able to pay for it. But that's my one kind of, I'm just going to buy it. I'm just going to do it. I've thought about it for months. I'm just going to do it.
It's true, Kevin.
Okay. But when you're looking at it, it is real for people. That's absolutely true. Okay. But have a plan. Number two, stakeholders. And I don't mean barbacoa, and I don't mean New York. I'm talking about investing in people who have the best intent for you.
Yeah.
Invest in them, and they will in turn invest in you.
It's true.
Right? Look at the Paula and my relationship. She knows I want to give good information, so she takes time to come in and join in my streams. Eric Byer, right? I'm getting better at saying his name right.
Buyer.
Will take time to come into the stream because he knows my intent is good, and he knows I really want to learn, and he wants to share information. If you surround yourself with people who know what your passion is, and they are excited about what they do as you are, amazing things can happen.
Be teachable. Be teachable. Be okay with being wrong.
So
Be okay with that.
my mom,
it's very hard. It's very hard as a teacher, as someone who wants to teach people, to teach someone who gets offended or gets hurt or gets upset when you correct them. It's very hard.
is my mom, and she might be lurking, and if she is, as a kid, I had a mentor, and those were his exact words to me.
Be teachable.
Be teachable.
Yeah.
And for a lot of years, I'm like, well, I'm doing okay in school. Like, I didn't understand what that meant. And it's probably one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever received. Be teachable. It's a really good piece of information.
Yeah.
The last thing that I really want you to do, okay, have fun with the hobby.
Exactly, Eric.
Have
Yes,
fun,
have fun for
okay?
sure.
What is it that you like, right? And if you're getting frustrated with something, ask yourself why. Why am I
Yeah.
frustrated with it? Am I just throwing all my money at all this stuff? I want to see advancement. I'm doing my books. I want to complete a book. The book that I want to complete first is my Ike Dollar. I've only need 2 more and I got my Ike Dollar book complete. Ike Dollar books are super easy because you can fill the entire book for
Hmm.
not a ton of money, and they're just
Nichols,
cool to look
Jefferson
at.
Nichols are too. Jefferson Nichols
Yeah,
are
again,
easy.
right? I've already done my
Hmm.
nickel book. I got all my
Yeah,
nickels. It's easy.
super easy and super fun to do with the kid.
Yeah, and find yourself a really nice 1950 D, right?
Right off the bat.
Yeah, like, spend thanks again, tracking with Kraken.
Tracking Kraken. Tracking.
Oh, that was funny. Um,
I got some nice
find
nickels from Eric.
Bo, email me, Bo. I'll follow up with you. There's only a couple left. But the thing is that if you really want to do that, you can get a nice 1950D, not in
Yeah.
the slab, for 30 bucks, 20
Yep.
bucks, right? And make that your piece. And then collect nice, make, MS-63 or above if you want to do something like that. It's a very
However you
affordable
want
way to
your
do it. Yeah,
however
right.
you want your entire album to look. If you want
But
your
here's the
entire album to be mint state, then buy a mint state 50D and then collect from
yeah.
there. Match those coins.
If you want to AUBU, then do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Know the value of your most expensive coins, because if you put an AU book together for Lincoln cents, you're going to beat
Yeah.
yourself to death when you're coming to the 14D and the 1909 and the 22 and right.
Yeah.
So understand that concessions are going to have to be made in certain cases, and you don't have to buy the top of the line every time.
No,
Get the
you can
piece, sell it,
yeah,
and upgrade it,
yeah, upgrade.
right? You have, and this is why it's important to inventory what you have. I've got, I didn't have any 20-cent pieces, and now I have 3. Well, I only needed 1 for my book. Where did the other 2? I bought them. I bought them all within 4 days of each other because I was like, bam, bam, bam. I didn't pay attention to the fact that I had already bought it. So they're cool. I love the 20-cent pieces, but now I got 3 of them sitting here. I only need to have 1 in my book.
Oh, you can't have too many 20-cent pieces. Come
Oh,
on.
well, no. I'm just saying. But if I was to try and collect 20-cent pieces, I'm probably setting myself up for failure because there are some that you'll never attain,
Yeah.
right?
Can
So,
I real quick, because I got to go in a couple minutes, so can I do a couple shameless plugs?
yeah, fire away.
Okay. So the Litecoin Q&A is going to be on the Coin Show podcast with Matt and Mike on the 16th at 7 Central. So you guys know, if you've been to our show, you know how much we love Matt and Mike and the Coin Show podcast. Well, they invited us on for just a fun chit chat with them. So we're going to be on the 16th. This Monday, we have a special guest who is in charge of the Short Snorter project. So if you know anything about short snorters, you're going to want to be there. And if you don't know anything about short snorters, you're going to want to be there because it's really, really super interesting. And Frostbite, you'll appreciate it because he's doing it on one from December 7th.
Okay.
So for on Pearl Harbor. So you guys, it's super interesting. So come on Monday and check it out. The guy is fantastic. He's done this presentation for the American Numismatic Association and everything.
Awesome.
Also, our holiday giveaway is December 18th. So make sure you guys show up to Livecoin Q&A on December 18th because we have our holiday giveaway. Lots of goodies.
My
That's
girl's
all.
birthday's the day before. We might be doing dinner that night, so I'm going to check and see if I can be there. But if
Oh,
I can be there,
okay.
I'll try.
We have lots of good stuff, so it's always a huge giveaway and so much fun. But yeah, and if you guys are not subscribed to the Coin Show podcast, you're missing out, because if you like amazing information, Matt and Mike are great for that. So, and they're just fun guys. They're fun guys. They're mushrooms. The fun guy, get it? A mushroom? Anyway, whatever. I should have left before I even said that bad joke.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I get it. That was funny.
Anyway, all right, you guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm going to a holiday bazaar, and I will see you guys later.
Thanks, Paul. I
Bye,
appreciate you.
Frostbite. Thanks for the great information.
Anytime. We'll see you later. All right, folks. Well, Ringmaster Ray has already thrown in Will's treasures. So what I want everybody to do is go top off your cup of coffee, go say hi to your significant other, pet your cat or your dog or whatever your pet is. Go take a few moments for yourself and then come back and let's jump on that premiere train. Stacking with Kraken, thanks so much for the couple super chats. I really appreciate that. Chappie, thanks again for being a channel member. Mr. and Mrs. Coin Crew, thanks so much for being in the chat. I appreciate you. Great Scott, Ringmaster Ray, Miss Coin Crew, Farm Dog, Eric, thank you all for being mods, for all the channel support. I appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow will be a little bit more fun, just general chit chat, talking about coins. But again, I want you guys to set yourself up for success. Have a plan, coordinate a plan, and surround yourself with people that want to better you. All right, folks, we'll see you over at Will's Treasures in about 15 minutes. Take care, be well, be blessed. Frosty out.